Good morning. Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Hi, Gail, Susan, and John. Hello, Christiane. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I am here at the studio, as you can see, and we're also going to be on Instagram Live. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Let me know if you can hear me. Just give me a quick chat. I'm using slightly different technology here today, so you know how these things go. All right, here we go on Instagram. Hello, Instagram friends and followers. Welcome. I am here at Sun and Moon Yoga Studio, and we're live streaming on YouTube and Instagram, and it's so good to be here. It's such a feeling of hope and promise right now. Spring is here, and it's a big week here at Sun and Moon. We are getting ready to open up slowly in phases, offering a few in-person classes with all of our COVID safety precautions in place. And it feels good. It feels hopeful. And we're going to continue to maintain our online presence for as long as people need it and want it. There is so much to be grateful for. There is still so much work to be done in all of our realms, and we know this, and what we hope and what we trust is that our yoga practices offer us the tools and the support and the grounding that we need to do all of the other things that are required of us as human beings in this moment, in the spring of 2021. So it's been quite the year, and we've got all these emotions around it, so much of them coming from the heart, heartfelt joy and gratitude for the small victories and achievements we've been able to enjoy, the opportunity to connect virtually, all of the heartfelt sorrow that we've experienced from the loss of life and from the loss of our belief in our own innocence in the cultural ills that plague us, and the loss of what we thought was normal as far as the way we are living our lives. And so these things are heartfelt because we are our hearts. It's the first living organ in us that grows, and that grows the rest of us out from there. We know from simple biology, we start as a sperm meeting an egg, and then finding a hospitable environment in a uterus, and then cells begin to divide, and at 4 weeks the heart grows. And everything else grows from there, the neural tube, and then the spine, up from the back and around, and the brain, and the rib cage is spreading, and the lungs growing, and then the buds that become our limbs, our arms, and then our hands and our fingers and our legs and our feet and our toes, everything from the heart. And if we can remember this and move and act and speak from the qualities of the heart, from loving kindness and friendliness and sympathetic joy when we're feeling okay, and from compassion and equanimity for ourselves and for others when we're not feeling okay, then we have a chance at well-being. Then we have a chance at making creating a little more ease in our world, in our lives, for each other and for ourselves. And so here in a practice, we'll come to the mat and we will experience movement from the heart. So we can start from a simple standing position and just feeling the rootedness of the feet connecting downward and then rising upward through the energetic grounding channels of the legs. So pressing the feet down, rooting, and then rising up. Right? And then come up on the balls of the toes, the mounds of the feet, and then drop right back down, up and down. And then round the shoulders forward a little bit and just feel a sort of an encasing around the heart, and then bring your palms together in front of the heart. And with these bouncy legs and rooted feet, lift from the heart up, and then back up onto the toes, and then down, and then back up, lifting from the heart. So if you feel for a moment this recognition of a sort of a depressive posture, then we can know from a physiological standpoint that a simple lift from the heart center can be of use, can be helpful. So rooting down, rising up, rooting down and rising up, and rooting down and rising up. And now, standing on the feet, slowly unfold the arms and reach out and then float them down. And then unfold the arms and reach out and float them down. And you can get the legs into it, squatting down, rising up, reaching out, and again and again and again, leading with the heart, leading with this open, compassionate power center of love and kindness and joy and sorrow and connection and fear and all of it, all of it. Let things unfold and be expressed. And then slowly let the arms rise and then come back down again. Hands to the heart, bend the knees, plant down, rise up, open wide and reach. Open wide and reach. Open wide and reach. And then with the arms raised above, soften the arms and just flow them and float them and reach them. So we're not interested in finite shapes because we never are a finite shape as a human being. Never once have we been a finite shape. And so why should we seek to create some preconceived notion of a shape or a pose that will never be recreated anyway, because we're never the same twice. And then once we reach up and then cast the arms out wide and then fold forward and reach down, hang the head, release the jaw and the neck, and then come back up again, reach up and then cast out wide and fold forward and reach down. And again and again and again. And again and again and again. Fold forward, roll up, reach tall, cast out wide, and release and surrender and keep going. And the next time you reach up tall, you might consider taking one big step back and then sinking the hips, bending the front knee into a warrior pose shape, and then straightening the leg, casting the arms out wide, and then folding down into a pyramid shape, fold, and then back and forth like that. We are never one finite shape or form, but we are always and forever, as long as we exist inside this body, the beneficiaries of this heart that is constantly spiraling blood out through the system, carrying the vital oxygen that our lungs have breathed in for us to keep us alive. Just a few more times, reaching up, casting out wide, and then folding down. And then the next time you reach up into the warrior shape, straighten the leg, turn all the way around to the other side, and recreate that flow in the same way, knowing that it will never be the same twice, knowing that this body, this living, breathing organism that started with a living, breathing heart, is forever changing and growing and learning and shedding what it no longer needs and drawing in what it does need, and then processing what it wants and doesn't want, and continually reconciling those things. And you can switch it up. You can bend the knee as you fold and straighten the leg as you reach up wide. There's no secret code that we are required to follow. None. But there are guides that can help support us as we make these choices in movement, in thought, in speech, in action, in being. A couple more times. And then pause, and then turn around to the other side. And we'll add a little bit of a balancing posture here. So bending the knee, reaching up, floating the arms wide, press off of the back foot, and launch yourself into a balance on one leg, and then bring it right back. And then again, bend the knee, reach up, launch off the back foot, bring the knee forward and up and back. And continue like that. As you breathe, as you float and sway and live and love, all from the heart. And then switch sides. And again on the other side. Bend the knee, reach up, launch off the back foot, come to balance, step right back. Spend as long as you like at each point along the way. There's no secret code. There's no recipe that requires precise measurement. We're not baking. We're improvising. We are creating and recreating over and over and over, led by the heart. All right, step the foot back and then turn and face the long edge of your mat if you're practicing on a mat. And bend the knees. You can turn the feet out a little bit and then reach up and then straighten and float the arms down. Bend the knees again, reach up, straighten, float the arms down. And once more, reach up and float down. And this time, round the spine and spiral the arms out. And then from the elbow to the fingertips, spiral the arms in. And place the pinky side of your hands on the floor. And then keep the spiral going so you land the base of the ring finger and the base of the middle finger and the base of the index finger and the inner edge of the palm and the wide reaching thumb. Knees are still bent, and start to walk forward. So the palms finding their root on the ground as an extension of the wide open heart. Keep the knees bent, reach back with the hips along with the spine, and then straighten your legs. Maybe turn the toes forward, and then round the spine and roll forward. Keep the feet wide, bend your knees, bring your knees to the floor. Walk the hands forward once more. Roll over the knees, lift up your toes. There they are behind me. And lift the heart forward. And then back again. Walk the hands back a touch. Lift up, stretch back, breathe, lengthen, and feel that every extension of your body is originating in the heart. Bend the knees, walk the hands forward, lift up your toes, roll over the knees, lift the heart forward. And then keep going. And keep breathing. Just a few more, 2 or 3 more times. Round the spine, land the knees, walk the hands, point the toes as they peek up behind you, and lift the heart high. And then when the knees come down to the ground next, just pause here, right? And then come to what would be a typical shape of a table pose. And draw the knees, the hips back toward the knees and settle the belly down. You can widen the thighs to make room for the belly to drop. And then round and come up. And then drop back. So that every movement you make feels like an extension from the heart. Slow and steady breaths. Your knees can be as wide apart or as close together as you want them. And the next time you come forward, slide your hips off to one side and then find the leg that's on that side and slide that knee forward and underneath you. Land the side of your hip on the floor. And then get a big scooping action with this open side arm. Lean forward, Lean back, reach up, and open wide. And then repeat that movement over and over. Breathing and expressing and reaching all from the heart. And the next time you come up and reach back, pause there, and then soften the arm down, gather up your knees, and swivel over to the other side. And then reach the arm down, swing it over, and then open up wide. Reach back, lift up from the heart. And again, reach around and down and up and back. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then pause and come and sit upright with your legs crossed in front of you. So shin in front of shin, active feet flexed at the ankles. Shift back a little bit with the base of the pelvis. So the sitting bones, like little flippers, flipping backwards just a little bit to give you some extra lift so the heart can be open. And then float the arms up. And leading with the heart, take an easy fold forward. It doesn't matter how far you go. Relax the head and then swish back and up and reach the arms again and lead forward with the heart, rounding down, swish back, come up. A few more times. And as you feel ready, lean back, lift up the legs and flip the cross, put the other shin in front, activate the feet, flex at the ankles, which activates the entire leg. Lift up a little bit and flip the sitting bones back behind you a little further. And once again, float arms up and float belly down as the heart leads forward. A few more times. Whatever position your legs are in, let it be one that is easy to do, not one that strains your back or your hips. No strain, no pressure, no secret code about the way it's supposed to be or the way it should look. Zero. It doesn't exist. What exists first and foremost is this beating open heart from which we are expressing everything about our beingness. And one more time, reach up and lean forward, lead with the heart, and then round and float back up. And pause and sit tall. And take a few breaths. As you exhale your next breath, let the exhale extend a little longer, a little more free and patient. With your mind, trace that exhale to its very, very edge. And then flip over onto your back. So as you lie down with your feet planted on the ground, take your arms by your sides and remember that your arms begin in your heart. And press the shoulders back into the floor and feel the heart pop up a little bit. Just do that a few times. Press down and relax. Press down and relax. Press down and relax. And then press down and hold the downward action of the shoulder blades into the floor. And float your arms up and reach them back behind you. And then float them right back down. And float them up and reach them back and down and up and back and down. And then press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, reach back and return. Hips, heart, and arms all rising in concert and releasing back to the ground together. A symphony of movement conducted by the heart, the ever-present heart. If the next time you rise up, you feel invigorated and you want to stay lifted in the bridge pose, you can release the arms down, but keep the hips and heart lifted. Maybe lace your fingers together. Maybe you roll the arms underneath the back a little closer to each other, the shoulder blades squeezed in a little closer to the spine. Pressing into the floor with your feet, reaching your thighs away from you. The heart is ever higher and higher. Gather in the inhales and softly release the exhales. And then slowly return to the ground and pause here for a moment and separate your feet as wide as your mat and rock your knees from side to side. As the knees go one way, you can turn your head the opposite way. And then come back up to center and pause. And then step the feet together and gather up your knees. Give them a gentle squeeze and circle the knees around and around and around. And around the other direction. And then pause. And bring your feet to the floor. And place one hand on your belly and the other hand on your heart. And softly trace the breath again in and out. Bring your awareness to your heart in both hands, in the region of the heart on top of the chest. And recognize here the oldest living organ inside of you, faithfully keeping the beat and rhythm of your whole life. And acknowledge the capacity that we have as human beings to cultivate the qualities of this heart space, of loving kindness and friendliness and sympathetic joy, compassion and equanimity. In Buddhist teachings, these are known as the divine abodes, the places where we live closest to the divine self. And then just gently release the hands and shift over, roll onto your side, and come up to a gentle seat. And I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take good care, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Lots of love. Thanks for being here. Take good care.